Ladies and gentlemen, the world television champion, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty, welcome. But what about Jimmy Vay? What? He tried it. They almost got him again.
This has got to stop somewhere. Let me tell you something, David Crockett. This is going to cease to exist. It's going to stop now. I don't play no game. And I don't take no prisoners. Vegas War is going to have a lot of help. And tell it, Blanchard, you come out here and you talk about Baby Don Paul driving that boy, putting that boy out of wrestling, talking about boy this and boy that. Well, David, you know my youngest, Till Margaret, is 2.5 years old. And I tell her a story about the cold-blooded sausage maker that's walking through the woods. And these little pigs run around. And he grabs the little pigs and he making cold-blooded sausage out of them. But always in that story, when she's scared and her eyes are big as silver dollars, the American Dream comes and saves the little piggies. But in this case, I am the cold-blooded sausage maker. Tully Blanchard. And you the little piggies. And you running around with one big pig. That's right. Now I hope my mama don't call David and get on for me talking this way. But she ain't no lady. She ain't no 10. She's nothing more than something off the, I ain't even gonna talk about it. And you talking about now, you gotta deal with a dealer. That's fine. Cause that's risky business. I am risky business. I am the cold-blooded sausage maker.
We had, say what? A whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's
word attack skills and vocabulary too. All the hits in the distant distance is all brand new. Get through. I'm interplanetary like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
Brothers and sisters, it is Sunday, and the Church of Ringtown Pro Wrestling is now open. Keith and Keisha is in the building. Keisha, say hi to the congregation.
Amen. I am not right for that one. Hey, what's going on, people? It's Sunday. Normally, you just sitting watching football, eating popcorn, being fat, and people drinking, yelling at the TV. And, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, it is what it is. But, what's going on?
It's like you're going to get ring time every 3 or 4 days. It's going to be crazy. It's getting bananas. I don't know if the people are ready for it, but we are going to flood these streets with podcasts. You got another one coming down Thursday. I had promised to do Sunday shows, but this week we have to because it's so jam-packed for the wrestler, right? Tonight, Bound for Glory pops off. We're not going to go really rehash the card because we talked about it earlier this week. But there is an amendment to the main event. It will now be a triple threat. Ethan Carter III will be defending the title against Drew Galloway and Matt Hardy.
Ooh,
Matt Hardy has worked his way into the match. Okay. After, it was a stipulation Wednesday. If Matt won, he would be in the match. He's in the match. Looks rough for Ethan. I kind of thought Drew might take the title at Bound for Glory. I think he's had a hard road coming up to it. Right. I don't see Matt Hardy winning. Now, I can see him being a distraction and how Ethan walks away with the belt. But neither here nor there. We'll find out tonight. That's going down. We'll roll this thing in. Last night was a glorified house show that was kind of produced as a pay-per-view. Not really produced as a pay-per-view. It was just kind of marketed as such.
Right.
WWE at MSG Live. They had the WWE Live event banners. And I mean, even the way they shot it kind of in a way, kind of like you got to see something you generally don't see. You know what I mean? Like it really wasn't. They didn't break out all the cameras. They didn't seem like they had the entire production crew available.
Right.
They stuck to about 3 or 4 good camera angles. Now, I did like the dark arena with the spotlight on the ring. Like, you probably only could see like 1 or 2 rows deep. That's like very classic wrestling thing. So I thought that added some mystique. And maybe that's something they can consider doing more often. Like, it really wasn't a crowd star show. It was a show about what was going on in the ring. But nothing really changed up. We'll go down the card and talk about some things. So there were some things that were interested. And we'll sum it up real quick. Get to a few newsworthy notes, that won't be deep. The show won't be long today at all.
Right.
Because really the crux of what we're doing, we're going to preview the NXT Takeover that's going down Wednesday night. And we're going to go down the card. That's not a long show either. And then we're going to be out just to give you something. So, hey, Monday you got a little treat. You go to work, you get bored, we can eat up some time, right?
Right.
So, with that being said, hey, MSG Live card breaks off. We start off with a pretty good tag match. Randy Orton and Dolph Ziggler take on Sheamus and Rusev. Wasn't too much to expect. Randy wins with an RKO. And on Sheamus, they win the match. In the story. Nothing too really gritty to go through. I think we're headed towards possible Rusev face change. I don't know. Or maybe the heels are just going to be testy to each other.
Yeah, I think it might be just that. I couldn't see Rusev as a heel. I mean, as a face. That'd just be like one wheel for me. I'm sorry. Like, I can't imagine that happening. Like, I just be like, seriously, just so.
No, I honestly think that there's a possibility. And when I say that, because the way Dolph is behaving, I can see Dolph doing a heel turn. And the way this whole Summer Lana thing is working out with Rusev, I can see that being the precipice of it. But maybe not, because the thing is, Dolph's heel turn may come later because there's a lot of speculation about him and Cena and the whole Total Divas thing, right?
Right.
Which we'll go into a little bit of that when we talk in the news, because there's some rumors about some other things. But we'll see how that all works out. Neville took on Stardust. He beat Stardust with a red arrow. Nothing really going on there. Team Bella defeats PCB. This is where I didn't get it. Like, Paige came down to the ring, and then it was Becky and Charlotte with their own individual interests and all that. But the thing was, it was kind of like, Paige turned on them Monday. How the hell are they going to have a 6-man tag? Who would do a 6-man tag match with somebody who turned on a Monday?
Exactly. Like, you know that wasn't going to work, because you knew that everybody wasn't going to agree with it. Like, it wasn't going to happen. If Paige already done walked out on them on Monday, like, what makes you think that you was going to come to Saturday and everything was just going to change?
Yeah, I really don't get. So they booked the same match. Now they did a little twist to it where Charlotte and Becky left Paige hanging, and Paige got pinned, and that was it. And she was sorry, and this is how it's gonna be. I honestly, where's Team Bad? That's what I really want to know.
That's what I want to know too. Like, it just done disappeared off the face of the earth. I'm not feeling that. I'm really not feeling it.
So there's that. Kevin Owens defeated Chris Jericho for the IC title. It was a special night for Jericho. Jericho will celebrate his 25th year in the business.
25? Damn. Like, for real?
Yeah. He broke in. He says first professional match was 1990 on October 3rd or something like that. And he had Lance Storm there, who trained with him at the Hart Dungeon, and was his first tag team partner. And I guess he had the first match against Lance Storm. The late Arnold Scolin's wife was there, who was a MSG legend with WWF, and a few other guys that went down the roads with Jericho in the early part of his career. It was a nice speech. Everybody popped for him and gave him a good yay, which it was perfect to face Owens, the consummate heel, the consummate bad guy. And Owens delivered, looked dominant as ever. The Dudleys took on the New Day. Defeat the New Day again, but by disqualification because Xavier Woods got involved.
Of course.
Which I think this is setting up. They won't go with the titles here, right? Like they have to win the titles on a grander stage. So the idea is that they win the titles at Hell in a Cell. I think Hell in a Cell would be the ideal place for them to win the titles. And probably in a tables match. What they're going to do now, after 2 straight disqualifications, the third and final match will be a no DQ.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of funny too, because like after Xavier interfered both times, I would have liked to see Spike Dudley.
Exactly.
Crazy
I
as that
was thinking the same thing. Like, why can't you just bring him back, have him come out, run out, beat the shit out of Xavier? Like just something. It would have been awesome. But of course, that is too much like right. So.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Still can happen. I see some people think it was a little late. I think it could happen even at Hell in a Cell. I would say it was a surprise for Hell in a Cell. Like, look, hey, y'all like that 302, da-da-da-da. Well, we got our little insurance policy. We called out our little brother and bring Spike out. I'm not even sure what Spike is up to these days. Spike might be back teaching school.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
So
you're right.
I don't
He
know.
could be. I mean,
Don't know what the little guy's up to. Match after that, Brock took on Big Show in an interesting match. It wasn't long.
Of course.
And I thought it was weird because it's like this is the second time we've sold the Brock main event. I mean, Brock is the guy that sold the tickets, but
Right.
he wasn't the main event. Cena was the main event.
No, but see, to me that doesn't make sense. Like, it's like, why put him on the front end of it as the main event if he's not the main event? Make him the main event. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I thought it was a weird spot for Cena to follow it. It was just like when Finn Balor, when they went to Japan and the main event was like Cena and Ziggler in a tag match against 2 people. It was kind of like,
right.
Hold on. So Brock went on earlier, which was the Beast of the East, the whole precipice of the show. Finn Balor, the Japanese hero, wins the title, and that was the match before. And it was like,
And this is the main.
they don't want to see no damn John Cena. No.
That was it. You could have ended it with Finn and been done with it. See, at least with Finn and Kevin being the main event, it was a title match. It would have been perfect had they ended it. It would have been perfect.
Don't get me wrong, though.
You ended with Cena? But the match they ended it with made no sense to me. It makes 0 sense to me.
Here's the thing. I think with this one, though, I will say the Cena Seth Rollins match was match of the night, right?
Right.
That is 100% fair. That they put on a show. But let's get back to Brock and Big Show. I thought it was interesting. Big Show chokeslammed Brock twice. Brock sold for Big Show early in the match, right?
Right.
Like it looked. Big Show did what his job was. Consummate professional. When I talk about how, because I wrote the article, The Misuse of the Big Show, very popular apparently on Ring Time Pro Wrestling. A lot of people read it. Some hated it, some loved it. I now know what's wrong with the wrestling business now, too, after writing that article. A lot of fans have it misconstrued when you say certain things. Like, a lot of people was like, oh, well, how is he misused? He's made billions of dollars, and he's been in the main event of pay-per-views. Okay, what was the last time it was in the main event of a pay-per-view?
All right.
This is a house show. Wasn't a main event. So, you know what I mean? Like, let's take these things. Also, name the last time the Big Show came out on the right side of a feud. Name the last time he walked out with the belt or anything, right? It hasn't happened. Big Show lost to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I want you to soak that in. Like,
exactly. Like, there is nothing after that. Like, you don't have to soak it in after that. That's it.
I can give you some more to soak it in. He lost to Floyd, 147-pound Mayweather, in a WrestleMania gimmick match.
Right.
Regardless of how you sell it and the bodyguards and all that, he got beat. Okay? He got knocked out, and that was it. All I'm saying that is to say, Big Show has been made to look normal, and he's a giant, right?
Right.
Now, they tried to reestablish the giant mystique and the danger. Hey, I beat Brock in 2003.
Right.
It's 2015.
You dwelling on something that happened 12 years ago? Are we really doing that?
Like, we're gonna ignore the last time y'all faced each other and he F5'd you to death and beat you with chairs mercilessly.
Exactly.
No, we're not gonna do that. Okay. But, that being said, Brock sold for Big Show. It looked like Big Show was going to be dominant. Maybe had a chance for about 2 seconds. Then Big Show found Suplex City.
Exactly.
You know, when you stumble upon Suplex City, things happen. Keish, I would say this. I thought that Brock and Big Show, I had my reservations about it. And I always tell you how I think they make Big Show look normal. But watching Brock doing them suplexes on Big Show, I don't care who you are. I don't care if they would have had Mabel out there. Rest in peace. Brock doing those suplexes on a 450-pound man repeatedly, that's a hell of a feat of strength.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like, if he did one and then left it alone, all right. I mean, that's still incredibly strong and like, wow. But
no, but he did multiple.
Yeah, he
over and over and over again.
Yeah, he went Suplex City on Big Show, and I was like, oh wow, that's wow.
Yeah,
like you had to be amazed. And
when was the last time you tried to toss a 450-pound man? Let's talk about that.
Nobody ever. Even Cena in his prime, he hits the the attitude adjustment and it's over. Like, nobody has, like, hoisted the Big Show multiple times in a match.
Nah, never.
So, to watch that, it was like, oh, did he hit the F5? Then he came back and brutalized Big Show some more because that's what the fans wanted to see.
Right.
I hope, like some people say, it was this Big Show last match. I'm pretty sure you won't see Big Show for a while. But,
no.
I mean, they hurt him pretty bad. But he probably does need some time off. Like, I've always contended that he shouldn't be used every day. You know what I mean? And I think bring him out, dust him off, use him, then let him chill out for a minute, rest. Especially at his age. Like, he needs time off anyway. But I'm thinking more of Show, come back near Royal Rumble time. If he pops in as a surprise Royal Rumble entrance, the crowd will pop. And he's immediately dangerous in a Royal Rumble just on sheer size.
Exactly.
Okay. Like that's the kind of thing that you do. Then you give him an angle that sets him up for WrestleMania. Then you cool him off, sit him down for a minute, bring him back around SummerSlam. Let him run a quick 2 months, cool him off, sit him down again. Like, that's simple, right?
Right.
He doesn't have to be at every Raw. He doesn't have to be at every SmackDown. I know he likes it. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure he loves it.
Right.
But there's some things you could do. Use him as an ambassador. Use him as this. Use him as that. Do the Be a Star campaign. Send him to schools. Let little kids hang on him. Like that. That would be my useful show. But back to the show. Back to the event. Nice setup. You made Brock look dominant. You made him look dangerous. That's the lasting memory that you want from Brock prior to going into the match with the Undertaker in 3 weeks.
Right.
We set the table. We set the table. Okay. Cena with Seth Rollins. Steel cage match, U.S. title.
Incredible.
Very good match. I had my reservations because I knew Cena got to win, right?
Right. Exactly.
But I felt like, yo, how many times is Seth Rollins going to lose to Cena? Because then it's going to put the idea in people's head that, hey, he can't beat him.
Right. It really does.
Because I think that's where it's going to be. He can't beat him. After this, I don't want Seth nowhere near Cena. Period. Which we'll have to worry about that actually for a while later. But I don't want them nowhere near each other. And let it go. Mm-hmm. But incredible match between the two of them. Cena can deliver in certain spots, and with the right dance partner, he can really work. And Seth made all the right moves, all the right time, did all the right heel stuff, was cowardly when he needed to be, backed up when he needed to be, took advantage when he needed to take advantage. And for that night, for that presentation, he could have won and should have won, right?
Right.
So with this loss, I'm not going to hold it against him. Because it's kind of like, all right, he'd have won if Kane wouldn't have showed up. If Kane music doesn't hit, Kane don't start coming down, and he doesn't panic about Kane, which is what a heel would do, he wins. He was out of the cage, and Cena was on the ground. He just needs to drop down. Now, there's some wrestling logic that's kind of blown, because it's kind of like, well, he could have dropped down off the cage, grabbed the title and ran away from Kane and ran through the stands. But, he was more scared of Kane than to think logically. So he jumped back in the ring. Cena does his magic and wins the match.
Right.
Now Rollins and Kane seriously have a problem. Which, pretty much, I think culminates in Hell in a Cell. There's no other way to sell it. 3 weeks, Hell in a Cell, Demon Kane versus Seth Rollins. I love the Jekyll and Hyde Kane. I love the goofy, mysterious. It's crazy writing, but it's almost on that, like, I'll go with it. Like, I will give this the full chance that it just say, all right.
Exactly.
Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I no complaints. I'll go along with it. I'm not going to sit here and pick it apart and try to, because it's so crazy and it's so off that it works. So, and here's the thing. I've criticized them for not trying to be fun or try anything different. This is fun. So, I'll go with that.
Yeah. I mean, it was weird at first, seeing where they were going to go with it, and trying to understand, like, where exactly the angle was behind it. But now that it's playing out, it's starting to actually be very humorous. I'm actually thoroughly enjoying, seeing Corporate Kane and then Demon Kane, because it's not like Corporate Kane is acting, in such a way that you would perceive him to be Demon Kane. It's like Corporate Kane is funny. He's hilarious. He's upright. I'm best for business and everything like that. And then you have, of course, the big red monster. Like, there's no other way to describe him, and there's no need for any other explanation of who he is. It's a great contrast to each other. It's great to see it play out, in the way that it is, because it's actually something I feel like is kind of unique in itself. When was the last time we've seen this happen? And I was actually kind of I don't want to know, like, I want to say that I was going to fight it at first, but now that I've seen it, it's just kind of funny, because I was wondering what they were going to do now that they had Demon Kane come out and show himself and everything. It was a question of, is corporate game gone forever? Is he done? Is this done? But it's not. Now that we see that it's a totally different situation than what was previously assumed, it's actually a good thing. I would have been fine, with Demon Kane stalking him and, dragging him to hell and, all that kind of stuff. But to add, Kane without the mask and the suit and all that into it, perfect. I think it's great. Because it's entertainment. It's very entertaining, and it makes you wonder, like, after everything's said and done, Hell in a Cell comes. Of course, this match is going to happen. Between Demon Kane and Rollins, it's going to happen. But what's going to happen after that? So it keeps you watching. I know it's keeping me watching because I definitely want to see, how things progress from now on.
Right. With that, that's our wrap up of last night's festivities. We will hit our break, which is very short into the show. Then we come back with birthdays, a few news and notes, not really heavy on the news. We'll talk a little speculation. And then we're going to preview NXT Takeover. Yep. So, it's the Takeover. Okay, sorry. But we will be back shortly, and we will get this thing rocking and rolling again.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Diamond Dallas Page, there you go, shooting that big mouth of yours off once again. Telling the whole world that there's not one guy in the NWO one-on-one that can beat you. Well, let me tell you something. First of all, I don't know what business you had sticking your nose and trying to be some hero and save Ric Flair. Ric Flair's history. And now Diamond Dallas Page, you've got the spot to make yourself some history. That's to crawl into the ring with the greatest United States champion, representing the NWO. To me, you're not even a wrestler. The difference between me and you, Paige, is I crawled, I walked, I was carried, but I went to the ring each and every day out of my career. That's worth something. To me, you learned your wrestling from a VCR and some cheat sheet somewhere. Let me tell you something right now. I'm not only the greatest athlete that the NWO's ever produced, I'm the greatest wrestler, the greatest athlete this sport has ever seen or ever will see. And tomorrow night, Starrcade, you got an opportunity of a lifetime, pal, because you get a chance at the gold. You look at Curt Hennig from top to bottom, there are no flaws. When I look at you in those scruffed out jeans, why don't you go buy yourself a pair of wrestling trunks and come out as a wrestler? Just one night. And show me what you got, because what you got ain't
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the new...
And we are back. I'll still run through birthdays, even though we ran through them earlier this week. Today is the 4th of October, it's Sunday. You'll probably get the show Sunday night, but if you do, tell Linda McMahon happy birthday.
Awesome.
Also the same for Abyss. Tomorrow, which is Monday, October 5th, Terry Runnels celebrates a birthday, former wife of Dustin Rhodes. Zeba Ion celebrates a birthday. DJ Z, he will turn 29. Tuesday, October 6th, birthday shared by Manu, son of Alpha of the Wild Samoans. Yeah. Also, Demolition Smash celebrates a birthday.
Demolition Smash. I don't know how you came up with that name. I'm just saying.
Well, they were Axis Smash. If you want to know how it all really came about, I suggest you listen to the Demolition episode of JR's Barbecue, where they have Barry Darso, who was Axe of Demolition, and Smash, who... No, Smash is Barry Darso, so it's Barry Darso's birthday.
All right.
Wow, I always thought Axe was a... Okay, so if Barry Darso is Smash, then Axe of Demolition is Bill Eadie. Okay, that is correct. Who was also a territory superstar back in the day called Mass Superstar. So, yeah, just something, for you kids to look up. So if you Google Masked Superstar on YouTube, you can see some good stuff. Apparently Bill lives down here in Atlanta. So maybe if I get a chance, and we get a chance, we can maybe sit down. Speaking of which, do you know what I pass every day on the way to the gym now? When I go that way? DDP Yoga. Did not know they had a building.
Whoa, wait a minute. Time out. They got a building?
Yeah, it's over in Smyrna. Well, probably around the corner from his house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stop by DDP Yoga one day.
I need to do that. Oh man, I did not know he had a building. Time out. Oh man, I gotta go by there one day. Stop it. Is this for real? Like, just stop it.
No, Keith, I'm making it up. Of course, it's for real.
Like, I'm just saying, I've always wanted to try DDP Yoga. Like, I had actually planned on, getting the DVDs and stuff. And try it out, see what it's like, I mean, I don't want to know what DDP Yoga is. How different is it from regular yoga, Like, what makes it so different? Because, curiosity. He was on Shark Tank. That was a crazy episode. Yeah, I'm just saying. I was surprised to see him. I was like, man, is that DDP for real? I was done with it. So, I don't think anybody bought into his business either. It was awful. But, that's neither here or there. We got all kinds of sidetracks, all of just over one mention of a building. That's one of my favorite wrestlers, though. I love DDP. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We didn't get into the preview.
Okay. But, we did the birthdays. Only news is speculation about John Cena. There's an idea he may be taking time off after Hell in a Cell. Not sure how true that is or not, but if he does...
he deserves it. I mean, seriously?
Yeah, so the speculation is who he's going to put the U.S. title on. Could this be the time off that sets up the him and Dolph Ziggler thing? Because if you've been watching Total Divas, Dolph Ziggler making the push at Nikki Bella, who is his former ex-girlfriend and Cena's current girlfriend. And we'll see how that works out, right?
Right.
Apparently TNA wrestlers are trying to respond to Finn Balor showing up at TNA headquarters and his WWE gear. So, Matt Hardy trying to tease that he's going to be a part of the Bound for Glory match, which is not going to happen. Saying basically he's trying to enter the X Division match.
No,
I doubt that.
We know that. We know that's not going to happen. Just stop it.
But Finn, of course, put out, he said, sorry, but me and WWE all day. Tony Wood have more important stuff to do, like standing in the field of mud. Because, of course, the NXT show in Louisville and Nashville is in the muddy places.
All right.
Which NXT is doing a Louder Than Live festival. And they were in town in Nashville, so I think that's why they stopped by and had some fun. But, yeah, let's get to the preview. So, NXT TakeOver. I love these shows, Keisha.
I think they're greatness. They're awesome. I have to admit. I haven't seen one that sucked yet. I'm just saying.
But
putting it
this one is titled Respect. It will be at Full Sail. Most of them are at Full Sail. The last one was in Brooklyn. December TakeOver is going to be in London, which is going to be bananas.
Yeah, you already know that's going to be foolish.
Right. So, let's talk TakeOver. Full Sail, Respect. We get the finals of the semifinals and the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is set up kind of like a Crockett Cup to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Through NXT. So far, so good. I mean, I see some good matches. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano were eliminated, but they had a nice run and 2 really good matches. I hope that means somebody's getting signed. Even though Wednesday, Keish, if you had both shows on and got to see both shows Wednesday, you got to see Tommaso Ciampa or Destination America, Impact Wrestling, and see him on NXT.
Wow. Wow.
He got it done. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what his deal with TNA was. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know. Here's the thing. Also, those shows are taped so far out. Like, they probably haven't taped in like 2 or 3 months. So, there's who knows what happened.
Exactly.
NXT probably about 2 weeks ago, but somehow worlds collided. The man was on, so he's hot right now in these streets. Want to know how does that work out for him? I don't know. Hopefully, he gets a contract with somebody, right?
Right.
And, I think the WWE was impressed with his performances in the NXT. But, you know what I mean? It's, that happened. And, let's look at the finals of the tournament, semifinals. So, the first semifinal match will be Finn Balor, NXT champion, with Samoa Joe, who probably is the favorite. But they're going to take on the Mechanics, which is Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. That winner will go on to the finals. Then Jason Jordan and Chad Gable will take on Corbin and Rhino, and that team goes to the finals.
Awesome.
This is how I'm looking at it now. I think Baylor and Joe win. They beat the Mechanics. Mechanics had a nice run. It was good to see them. I mean, they upset the Vaudevillains. They go to the finals. Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. Now, the upstart team of Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, I think, defeat Corbin and Rhino. And then maybe Corbin and Rhino have miscommunication. Maybe somebody turns on each other.
Right. Of course, because that can always happen.
And Gable and Jordan advance, which I like Gable and Jordan. I think they both, with amateur backgrounds and stuff like that, really, have a good thing going here. Gable trying to use the name of Dan Gable, which is he's not really a Gable, but I like the idea. I do. I still like it though. He's actually Charlie Green. He wrestled at Northern Michigan University, so he does have a legit amateur background. 2-time Minnesota State champion. Made it to the Olympic trials. So the guy actually has a legit pedigree. So does Joe and Baylor win? I think Joe and Baylor probably win it all. I think just to give the tournament name recognition.
Yeah.
But Gable and Jordan will look good and look like they do have a legit shot at something. But I think the whole idea would be is that Joe and Baylor give the tournament its credibility.
Which would be awesome. It would be awesome.
Now they could completely go and swerve me the other way and use this as an opportunity to put Jordan and Gable on the track towards the tag team titles. But okay.
I think it's a win-win situation for both teams. Regardless of who wins, I think that both teams come out looking good. Regardless, they both come out with the light shine on, especially Jordan and Gable. I think that regardless of if they win or lose, they still, I feel, will be contenders for the titles. And, of course, they will get the recognition for as such. Baylor and Joe could be winners, of the tourney, but then that'd be it, But at the same time, Jordan and Gable could win in the tourney. And, of course, Baylor and Joe still look good as individual wrestlers themselves. So I feel like there's no real losing situation for either team in this situation. Yeah, it's just my own personal opinion. Like nobody comes out looking bad. It's a great opportunity for all four men. You know, just to win another tournament, of course, gives you the bragging rights. It gives you the bragging rights. It gives you the trophy. It gives you everything, of course, that comes with it. But for somebody like Jordan Gable, then it's just, you know, it's to put of course, their names will be put out there further than what they already are at this point. So it's no way that this is a losing situation for anybody. Not for any of them. Not at all. So them being in the final match, regardless of the outcome, is a great opportunity for both teams.
I mean, I think with Joe and Baylor, I think their situation is they have that title between them.
Right.
And I don't know how that works out between the two of them and who is going to, you know, how that's going to work. But I think that we'll see how that turns out slowly but surely. Other than that, Apollo Crews and Tyler Breeze have a match. That's pretty solid. I can tell you Apollo Crews is going to win because, I mean, he's the new hot shot. And I think they have high hopes for him. One of the biggest free agents. I think this is where, honestly, Brooklyn was the first turn of the new generation of NXT.
Yeah.
And this is the final stamp, right?
Right.
And what I mean by that, like, okay, Baylor cemented his thing as champ in Brooklyn. He beat Owens for the second time. It's done. He's champ. He's solidified. He's the man. Okay, he moves on. Now we got to get Samoa Joe really integrated in this NXT thing. So he's there. Baron Corbin might move on to the main roster. I'm not sure. Jordan and Gable, we got to get them out there, get that tag team rolling, moving. Apollo Crews, this is time to shine. Asuka will take on Dana Brooke, also at this event. This is her money, right? This is her first match. She has to have a nice presentation. She may get cheated because Emma may get involved, but I think she has a good presentation and more than likely will win the match. Right. All right, so now we have the official new generation of NXT. And then it's capped off by the main event. Bayley, Sasha Banks, 30-minute Iron Man match.
Why am I so excited about this, Keith? I'm not way too excited about this. I am absolutely 100% excited about every second of this. Like, this is the greatest thing ever. I mean, it's one of the greatest things ever. I'm going to do this more often.
Best match of Brooklyn was Sasha Banks and Bayley. Hands down. No questions, uncontested. Might have been the best match that entire weekend. And that includes all three shows, Raw, NXT, and SummerSlam.
Right.
So now we're here. This is like finality. This is Bayley's time. Bayley is going to firmly entrench with the women's NXT title. No doubt. I mean, because Sasha Banks is one of the best wrestlers in the world and proved it hands down in Brooklyn. But, 30 minutes you own, man.
Right.
I think Bayley wins. This is Sasha's last hurrah.
And if she moves on to, then she's just a mainstay and a main roster. So
right. So what she's gonna do? She's gonna take the loss, but it's gonna be very close. Like, I think it's one of those. Either Bayley only wins the one fall, and she wins it in the final seconds of the match, or she beats Sasha like 2-1 and barely ekes out a pin in the last second.
Yeah.
Or it's tied 1-1 and they go to OT, and it's like sudden death overtime. One pinfall wins it all. One submission, whatever it takes. So, I like Bailey in this one, of course. And like I said, this cements the new generation of NXT. These are your stars going forward. They will lead the new generation. Like every iteration of NXT, there's this, like it wasn't as big because they didn't have Takeover and the pay-per-view. I mean, it's a life of its own. It's a brand of its own now, right?
Right.
Like there was the Rollins and Ambrose and Reigns generation and the Wyatts and those guys. Then they all came to the roster. Big E was kind of in that same pool. He came to the roster. Then we had the Kevin Owens, Neville, in that generation of NXT. Sami Zayn was supposed to be in there. They all came to the roster. And dial it back some, Cesaro was in that earlier generation, right?
Yeah.
So now we got the guys, because then there was the previous to that was the FCW guys with Wade Barrett and Sheamus and all those guys. So now we're here and we've got this new crew, and what are they going to do? Can they carry it? Can they be as successful? Can they? Because the next step was for them to do this for a few months or a year, and then it's on to the main roster, right?
Right. Exactly.
Xavier Woods was in that in between of generations. Like he kind of was part of the older generation with Rollins and them, but hung around with the Neville's and stuff like that. But he ended up coming up and made himself well known and famous. And Tyler Breeze, it's interesting to see what's going to happen to him because he's kind of been a long stay down there. Adam Rose has came up. So I go down the line of people who came up. Now it's these guys' time. This new, fresh... Rhino will stay down there for a while because Rhino is going to help train people. But you got guys like Joe and Baylor who are not that young and been in the business for a while, so I think they need to hot shot them, so they're going to create something hot for them, and then, boom, they're going to the next step.
Right. Absolutely.
Look out for Blake and Murphy, that tag team. Generally, after a team drops the belts, they usually don't win them twice. They'll do a little small tour, just like the Lucha Dragons and the Ascension did. Then they'll be up. Who also main roster guys now? So, and that probably was of the last generation. So, like I said, this show will cement the new generation. These are the people who can really sell the London show. I imagine Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe will be the December title match in London. Balor is a Irish guy, came up in Europe. Joe is huge in Europe because TNA is big in London.
Yeah.
I imagine that will be the main event over there in 2 months. But with that, Keith, you got anything else, or?
I think that Takeover is going to make for a great show. I can't wait to see it. I'm glad that we got to preview it before it happens, and that we definitely will get to review it on Thursday along with Raw. And I am excited about the wrestling events that's going on. It's great to see so much happening at once, and I, as a fan, of course, am excited about everything. And I'm trying to fit it all in, people. I am trying to fit it all in so that I can see everything as it occurs, as opposed to, having to go back and watch this and watch this. And it'll be a breath of fresh air for me. So I'm thoroughly waiting to see how this is all going to play out. And I am thoroughly excited to see the new NXT class, make their mark and they make their stake in the wrestling world, because I want to see how everything plays out for them. So kudos to everybody that's about to wrestle on Wednesday. Good luck to everyone, and I swear to you, I'm just excited for all of this. This is greatness. So that's definitely my take on this. That's pretty much, I think, that's all I have left at this point.
with that, man, we are out. Check out all our affiliate links and things that you can support us with on the website, RaytownProWrestler.com.
Of course.
Check out all the different ways you can listen to the show. YouTube, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes. Doesn't matter. Just give us a listen. We love you for it. And we'll be back Thursday. Thursday, the agenda will be Bound for Glory, Raw, and then Takeover. So, be there, be square. Peace.
See you later, people.
Ric Flair, and here is the World Heavyweight Champion.
You know, girls, why don't you give it to him one more time? Woo! That's who's standing here today. The World Heavyweight Champion. Only one. And you're looking. Oh, girls, I can't stand it. Now I gotta talk. We all gotta be quiet. Nikita Koloff, we've only just begun. That's the end of it. Dusty Rhodes, don't ever make a mistake of sticking your nose in my business. If I'm down and out, I'll get up and take care of myself. So Dusty Rhodes, remember, when you walk out here, woo, talking Ric Flair, don't think you can walk in that ring and give me a hand or try to help me out and ease the tension in our relationship. Philadelphia, woo, I'm going to tear you down. Pensacola, Florida, when I get to town, we're going to treat all you women, woo, the way women ought to be treated. Because the NWA and some real men are going to take that Civic Center apart, and then we all going to be over at Rodeo, woo, driving the women wild. Miami Beach, get ready. Woo, we on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. Now, Buddy Landell, it's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name when last year I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo! There's only one. Jim Crockett, when you brought me here 10 years ago, you knew that I was going to be the biggest star of them all. It cost a lot of money to bring the real world champion on location. Because you see, when you got the Andersons, you know, we're family. Only an Arnie and Ricky. We do it better than everybody else. Don't wrap me up. The National Tag Team Champions, the World Tag Team Champions, Ric Flair, the World Champion, Dusty Rhodes, the World TV Champion, the National Wrestling Alliance. We're just better than anybody else alive. One question. Girls all around the world keep asking me the same question. They all want to know. They all want to know. And my cousin Arnie's the one that put this across. They all want to know what's causing all this. You know what it is? Intensified beef products. You're talking about all men. Ric Flair. Woo! Woo!
The World Heavyweight Champion.
Woo! All right. Woo! One more time, girls. Slick Rick. Woo! Oh, man, I'm on fire today.